Fear of rejection is one of the primal human fears. It is not only a psychological fear, but on a biological level, it has its roots in tribal mentality and is linked to self-preservation. It's not an illogical fear, as being expelled from a social cell can threaten our ability to survive. If there's anything that I have a lot of experience in, it would be failing and rejection. As you might remember from some of my previous videos, I talked about coming to this world with an odd personality that at the beginning of my life allowed me to attract a lot of people. And then as I was getting older, it quickly turned into a repellent. As a teenager, for 6 grueling years, I developed a neurological disorder that made me rejected by everyone around me. And then I moved to England at the age of 25, where as a foreigner, I'm rejected by people everywhere only because of my foreign accent. On top of that, honesty, one of my most valued personality traits, and the ability to see the truth, make me an outcast in most social environments. I have a few more incompatible values and personality traits that guide me through life, and I'm usually rejected by people with a mindset driven by greed, trivia, dishonesty, and lack of logic. It's safe to say that I'm a big enemy of all quote-mark humans. Today, being a spiritual tree hugger talking to aliens, it has never been easier for me to be rejected by my friends and family. Combined with a disobedient and rebellious attitude towards propaganda and brainwashing attempts by the establishment, I found myself in a situation where I was forced to replace my old circle of friends with a completely new group of open-minded and respectful people, mostly belonging to the 434 community. You might not realize this, but even running this channel is about rejections. View count fluctuations, unsubscribing, trolling, negative feedback, YouTube censorship. It's all about juggling acceptance and rejection. I'm even occasionally dismissed by machine elves when they stop communicating with me. Every now and then they'll ban me from the mushroom realm, or they will control my mushroom intake in this reality. Because of everything above, over the years I learned how to live in that non-accepting environment. It's not always a pleasant existence, but machine elves gave me answers to all my questions, and now I understand that rejection is important and even beneficial. If you're in acceptance of what I'm saying here and of my goal to create a global awakening movement, please support 434 financially through joining Patreon or Subscribestar, or by donating through PayPal, cryptocurrencies, bank transfer, or CashApp. All links in the video description. Thank you for your support. Before I tell you how to deal with rejections in your life, I'll start from explaining metaphysical reasons for rejections I was informed about by the entities, and I hope it will be useful for you in understanding your own struggles. Psychedelics will definitely allow you to understand your path here, and maybe even the path of your close ones. In one of the messages, I was shown how a mixture of personality traits and elements of upbringing shaped my dad to be a very odd person, constantly rejected by his environment. Machine Elves showed me how his perpetual need for dealing with rejection shaped his personality, who he is, and how this had impact on the way he raised me, and how that in turn had impact on my personality. When I realized that I have access to the transcendental search engine in the form of psychedelic aliens, rejections in my life was one of the first issues I discussed with them. They said, we had to add some obstacles and problems into your life that push people away from you so that you can concentrate on your path rather than on interaction with people. It was obvious that rejections are simply a bulldozer clearing the path leading to my purpose here. Later on they explain, now you have a lot of space in your life so that you can quiet down and introduce some order. This space is required. It's not emptiness or boredom. It's to recalibrate and create something new. Everything is the way it should be, and you get as much space as it is necessary. Don't question it and don't complain. When I asked about being incompatible with most humans in this dimension, Machine Elves told me that I have an enormous power to be unique for others, but only when it is combined with positive attitude. They said, your accurate observations are very damaging when they're negative, and your blessing turns into a sharp samurai sword. This should help you realize that some of your social problems might be related to you having powers that you're unknowingly misusing. I asked the entities about being sometimes rejected by people for no apparent reason, and they said that this is due to temporary incompatibility in terms of their needs and life expectations. They said, if you fill somebody's need or requirement, you appear attractive and desirable. You appear as someone they need now. For those of you who are curious about being rejected by the opposite sex, I can tell you that the entities explain that attraction is relative and that it is defined based on fulfilling those current temporary needs. I can add from my own experience that to minimize the chances of rejection in this case, you need to be the opposite of awkward, pushy, desperate, and disrespectful towards yourself and others. One more type of rejection that I need to mention here, one that I talk to machine elves about a lot, is self-rejection. This has a lot to do with expectations that we have towards ourselves and living by an image of what we consider to be perfect, but actually never being able to measure up to that image. The system we currently live in is designed and supported by you being in conflict with yourself, and I talked about this in detail in a video called Self-Acceptance and Self-Love. Machine Elf said that being yourself in the place where you should be is the goal of this life. Remember that there's only one of you and it is all you really have here. There's no question that you need acceptance in your life. Like every living organism in this dimension, you need a nurturing and welcoming environment to grow and thrive. The way you see and understand rejection will be what shapes your reality. As you go through life, you'll realize that rejection is not a big deal. In fact, it's a part of life that you quickly get used to. But it is a problem when it becomes a repetitive and constant occurrence. If you don't address the issues that lead to you continually being rejected, you're risking doing a lot of damage to your mind and even your body. Trying to fit into a hostile environment might have serious health implications. Machine Elves made it clear that this world is a physical game played by alien entities and you yourself, so in order to achieve in this reality what you came here for, it is obvious that you need to learn the rules of the game. One of the best methods of tackling the fear of rejection is being open about it and preemptively communicating and negotiating the conditions of rejection. Otherwise, you'll be forced to build a fake facade for self-protection purposes that will eventually lead to you becoming a guest in your own body, misunderstood by everyone, including yourself. If you want to know the reasons why other people reject you, you need to put yourself in their situation and remind yourself of all the moments you rejected somebody else. Once psychedelics allowed me to learn how I hurt other people the same way as they hurt me, it became easier to understand and control the issue of rejection. I encourage you to do the same type of self-analysis to learn this truth about yourself and others. You need to keep in mind that some people use rejection as a defense mechanism to protect themselves from low frequency and chaos of this reality. Remember that we have different types of coping mechanisms, and some rejections can be the only way to function for them. I was told that our bodies are limiting our sensory input in order to protect our minds. Try not to take it too personally. You also need to learn how to identify who you're being rejected by. Machine Elves explain that we're usually given the tools necessary to distinguish between noise generated by primitive humans and valuable information generated by smart people. That's why it is crucial to find and surround yourself with like-minded people. To minimize the chances of being rejected, you need to spend your life with people who allow you to be yourself, as even you will reject those who force you to pretend in front of them to be accepted. Remember that being rejected is painful, but being rejected by a low-quality person you try to impress is cruel and leads to losing self-respect. Being rejected in the world of business and finances is due to you being or representing a product. Rejection in that world is dictated by profit, and it's not a rejection of you as a person, but a rejection of you as an element of a corporate structure. First of all, ask yourself why being rejected as a product hurts, and secondly, ask yourself if you want to be treated as a product. But there's a bright side to all the rejections. It takes some time to realize that rejection is the entry ticket to the game, because rejection means that you're trying and that you're making an effort. Being hurt for a moment by rejection pales in comparison to the pain of recurring regrets. Remember, a rejection might be a blessing in disguise. Would you want to be decisively rejected, or would you want to live a vague lie by being misguided by fake promises? Would you want to be immediately rejected, or would you want to be used for a long time, leading to even more pain? For every person that rejects you, there are a few other people waiting to accept you. It's just a matter of finding them. The great thing about rejections is that they eventually lead to self-development. Building confidence and improving your methods of interacting with the world is the only remedy to being constantly excluded from important things in life. Rejection forces honesty with oneself, and that leads to getting a chance to do it better next time. Every no makes you smarter and helps you learn what to do next time to get you closer to a yes. Through exposing yourself to repetitive turndowns, you take away power from rejections and you make them meaningless as you develop immunity to them. It's the best way to learn in life and the best way to become accustomed to the discomfort of a creation process. Getting used to rejection pain is the only method that leads to achieving success. What you probably don't realize is that the most successful people in life are very often the ones who suffered the most rejections to reach their goal. Remember that rejection is a part of your path and it is simply an adjustment process. Machine Elves made it clear, you are on a mission and all your pain is necessary. Don't let it stop you from achieving your goals. Don't let it take away your focus and attention from what is important in life. Don't let these seemingly negative experiences discourage you or make you think that you're not compatible with the world. Remember that almost everything in life is available to those who are willing to reach for it. It's especially important to you as we're a group of metaphysically adjusted beings in this dimension and we're quickly being rejected by those who don't understand the nature of our reality. Like many of you, I also lost a lot of friends and family members once I started the 434 journey. Remember that being yourself in a place where you should be is the goal of this life, as explained by the entities. Also remember that most fear of rejection is based on you seeking approval of somebody else. Don't outsource your self-esteem for external evaluation. We all came here for one reason, looking for a loving connection with like-minded people. We all need to unite in order to understand each other. Never forget that your job here is building bridges so that we can all progress collectively. 434 is a place where you will find your home. You will not be rejected here. I think I will speak for many of us here when I say that we're a group that will make you proud of being different, where you can embrace your alien identity, currently undergoing the struggles of human experience. You won't be rejected by us and you'll never be rejected by the energy that takes care of you in this realm. All it wants is to flow through you, filling you with love, to let you thrive by being yourself. It appears that the purpose of all our rejections is for us to get further on our path. All your struggles are supposed to allow you to get you to a place where the contact with the divine is possible. This means that the light at the end of the tunnel that you're so eagerly awaiting is actually you. Love, 434. I hope this video is met with acceptance, and if it is, please support 434 financially through methods shown on the screen and listed in the video description. This channel needs it, and everybody else needs it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Visit the websites of the artist and the musician I featured in this video. Leave your email address at news.b434.com to be up to date with the latest 434 information. Remember about b434.com and join 434's social media on YouTube, Facebook, BitChute, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and VK. Talk to each other on Telegram, Reddit, and Discord. All links in the video description.